I would highly recommend him. He's kind of a no BS guy.
The systems we put in place with him, we're looking at doing 400 transactions this year.
To systematically increase your net worth is something that we never talk about. Okay, so let's get to the fun stuff. So in the book, the main book, where there's no vision, the people perish. All right, so let's start to get some specifics around the business, and this will bring the energy up here, I hope. So your entrepreneurial dream. So this is the time where some of you are starting, along this path, and you get the chance to dream about what your finished product's going to look like. Some of you are at a point like, oh, this is like this unwieldy beast that if I could just start from scratch, how would I do it differently? So this is your chance to do it differently in your mind. So it all starts in the mind. So time to explore how you would change your business if you could untether it from present reality and create a new company. Young or old, doesn't matter. So having vision is about intentionally describing how you want your business to be when it's fully developed, when it's quote unquote done according to the criteria you set. Your vision is the first concrete step towards your dream becoming reality. Even if you've done this before, stay engaged and do it again. So I know because a lot of us have been with similar programs. We've been through exercises like this before, but never at this level, where you're starting from a blank piece of paper. So really decide, what you want your business to look like. And it could be that your end game is different than my end game. So ours currently is 600 size in 2016, the vision of 1,000 size in whatever year it is, 2020. With a whole bunch of things that have to be true along the way. So it's the first country. So stay engaged even if you've done it before. Start with a blank piece of paper. Done right, you'll have the template of how your company will look and act when it's built. And from this point forward, you and your team will move toward that vision. So you'll constantly have this thing out there that you're moving toward every day. And there's no doubt there's like hundreds of books probably written on the topic of leadership and visioning being the number one job of a leader. So the challenge is in the way we've set up our businesses that we're probably doing, anywhere from 50 to 75% technician work, and then if you have to have some time to manage some people, or you kind of make time for that, and very little time is set out for the entrepreneur. And the number one job of the entrepreneur is this job here of visioning. So all successful leaders have a vision. Your decisions and strategy depend on it, as well as your team and clients. People are definitely more likely to follow someone who knows where they're going. So if you're, I try to think of when I sat down with Tia and Chris in the beginning. I definitely had a vision of where we were going and the ability to sell that vision. So if you can sit down with somebody and say, yeah, in the year, 2018, we're going to sell 300 homes, and I'm going to have 5 agents that do that, and this is what our client experience is going to look like, and it's way different than sitting down with somebody, like I said before, and just not having that vision to go through with them. So the key is to write it down and begin communicating it. This is all about digging inside. This is a little bit higher level though, so you can wrap your head around where you are today and where you want to go. We've had these conversations before. If you came in any time in the last year into this program, we had the conversation where we talked about what's it like today, what do you want it to look like 3 years from now, what's going to hold you back. So this is that 3 to 5 year vision. So it becomes the blueprint. So one of the most important questions that you're going to ask yourself forever once you get this vision set is how do you and your team need to act every day in order to achieve your vision. So it has to include things about how your team acts together, how your client experience is, how big the team is, how big your top line is, how many number of transactions, average price point. We'll go through all of that. The exercise will go through all of that. Nobody else can align every element in the company to act today like the company you will be when your vision is realized. And it's a day-to-day operational reality. And this is your deal. This has no bearing on necessarily where you're at today. So you could be, with agents that aren't going to be around, or you've got a top grade or whatever it might look like. This is you designing what you want this thing to look like. So try not to think of where you are today as a gauge for where you want this thing to go. Designing it around your current people is not the way to do this. All right, so your vision is commitment. So you must feel a deep sense of commitment to your vision, a dedication to making it a reality. This is an in-your-gut feeling that is the shape of your future company. You must be certain that every aspect of your vision is true for you. This can't be faked. Like probably for 3 years I had a borrowed vision. Someone else's vision of what their company would look like. And it's not the way to do it. So this can't be faked. You can't have the words or terminology that you can't personally stand behind 100%. And your vision is your vision. So mine is to have the time balance and to be able to now even think about opening 10 other offices that are doing 50 million and do 650 million. So and that's not everyone's dream. So that may seem unreachable for now. So in some markets, 100 transactions, or that's all you want. Maybe a small team, a small sort of lean and mean team. It's your dream. Never lose sight of it. Keep it in view, and it will keep you on track, especially in those tougher days. This is like the company, the business version of that personal thing. So, seeing whatever drove you, why am I doing this personally? This is the business version of that. So those two things, that's a very powerful combination, having the personal vision and the business vision to get your shit back on track when, 7 clients want to physically kill you or whatever might happen. Don't get bogged down in details. Some of you are more like higher, maybe C personality, and you tend to be like, kind of get bogged down in it. Just let this stuff come out. It's not, there are tangible aspects to this that I kind of talk about, sides and people and those things, and there's intangible, client experience, team morale, dysfunction, team dysfunction is a good one, those sorts of things. So there'll be 2 aspects to this. And leave the technician and manager out of this. So for those of you that are the manager, so if you're like the operations person for your team, you've got to step into the entrepreneur role for this. So this is a gift you'll be able to give the person that is the leader, just your perspective on what the vision of the company might be.